Alrighty, this is the 20th video of the Definitely series and the second under M&A, and we're going to be talking about why companies engage in M&A activity. So this is actually a pretty common question that I've seen a number of folks get, and I personally got this a couple of times, and this is one of the questions where bankers like to drill down, right? And what I mean by that is that they'll ask you, well, what are some reasons why companies engage in M&A activity? And you're going to give them three answers, and they are going to say more. You're going to give them three more, they're going to say more. You're going to give them three more, they're going to say more, right? And then you're going to be scratching your head, right? So the strategy for all of these is you always just give them your first two or three, right? And then you open up the floor and see if they want to ask um, more. So let's think about our goji berry and blueberry example that I gave in the last video, right? There was a couple of reasons why I wanted to buy my neighbor's blueberry farm, right? So the first was the cost savings, right? So this is called synergies in the context of investment banking and in the context of M&A transactions, right? So what this means is that I had one accountant and my neighbor had one accountant, right? So when I combine the two farms, we only need one accountant. We don't need two accountants. So we no longer need one accountant, we're able to save the costs associated with that accountant, right? So that's a cost synergy. Right? The second is revenue synergies. Right? Revenue synergies is essentially, remember the idea that I gave of, okay, my farm can grow 9 units of goji berries, my neighbor's farm can grow 9 units of goji berries, but together we're able to grow way more than 9 and 9 units of berries. The things work together, and we're actually able to generate more revenue together than we would have as a collective sum. Right? So that's a revenue synergy. Third is like market expansion, right? The blueberry goji berry example isn't great for this, but think about it as I'm able to expand into a broader market. I'm able to reach more individuals, and because I'm larger, I'm able to pull in more people to the business, right? So maybe I don't know, my farm is super popular after I've put the two together, right? And then I would stop, right? So it says here, oh, why do companies engage in M&A activities? We're like, oh, there's a couple of reasons, right? I mean, one could be like the cost synergies, the savings that they get from combining the two companies together. They could also capture more revenue through some form of like a revenue synergy, and then they could just expand their market overall. And I'm happy to talk about a couple more reasons if you'd like, right? And then pause. If they say, "Oh yeah, give me a couple more," then you can kind of continue. Otherwise, that's a sufficient answer. And if they think it's a sufficient answer, then they will not ask you for more reasons, right? So now, what are some more reasons? Well, one could be that they're a if a company acquires another company, they're able to acquire maybe some of their talent, right? Maybe their management is really, really solid. Maybe they have this like lead engineer that's just like a demon. He's so good, right? Another could be they're trying to diversify their products, right? So let's say that blueberries do well when the year is colder than normal, and goji berries do well when the year is warmer than normal, right? So like they're diversifying their products. And then maybe you just get economies of scale, right? If you're putting the two companies together, you have this economy of scale. You're able to produce more for a cheaper amount. And then you pause here, and now I gotta think of some more. Um, One pretty obvious one is you eliminate your competition, right? Let's say that we were two goji berry farmers, and I acquire another goji berry farmer, and now I eliminate my competition. And let's say that those were the only two goji berry farmers in the U.S., right? Well, now I have way more pricing power because I'm the only goji berry farmer, right? So I'm able to price my goji berries at whatever I want as long as I'm able to like get sales, right? I have the full autonomy on pricing my product because it's in a niche market, right? So maybe stop right here. They're gonna say, give us some more because they're mean to you guys. Um, and then, what are some more that come to mind? I mean, maybe you just have a ton of extra cash, right? You want to deploy your excess cash because you can't reinvest that in the business for whatever reason, right? Another is maybe you're trying to buy another company for the brand, right? Maybe that other company's brand is really, really solid. Everything else about it isn't great, right? So you're a bigger company and you want to acquire it and rebrand your own stuff by that brand, right? And let's think of maybe one more if it comes to my mind, and then we could kind of wrap it up. Maybe there's like some tax benefits associated with it, right? Let's say that a certain company has accumulated a ton of losses, and you're able to use those losses on your new farm. Now, this isn't something that is definitely going to come up. I would say this is something that's more like a probably to a maybe, right? But once you're comfortable with this concept, I would be okay with you guys seeing like the tax benefit side as well. So I should have actually written these out beforehand, but I honestly feel like I got a pretty comprehensive list here. And if you're able to list something out like this when they're asking it to you, you're going to be in pretty good shape. So those are some of the reasons why companies engage in M&A activity. And yeah, let's hop into the next video here.